Lovely people, delighted to be back with you, and I want to talk about Brexit. This is a reset sniper hat on, and we're talking about Brexit. Yep, that one that when no one else was predicting it, we said it would happen. That when the bookies were at 1:7 for Remain to win, I saw the control structure panicking immensely as it was coming to the close, despite their internet polls. That was virtue signaling to all online millennials that they should win, misleading them. I did see the signs of an early panic. They did the whole questionable death with the Britain First and a whole bunch of other aspects. It was pretty much a vile, dirty tricks campaign that went on for some while in a bid to try secure a Remain vote. However, that vote lost by at least 4% of the poll. There was 52 to 48%, which is quite a clear-cut defeat for Remainers. And we ended up with two parties essentially fighting this campaign. The Tories, the bulk of the Tories, not really wanting it, and the supposed Brexiteers talking a good game as if to look like they represented part of the party, but never really wanting to carry that can. Boris Johnson, the clown prince, supposedly wanting, deemed to be reflecting that part of the party, so that if the vote went Remain and had gone Remain, at least people felt that there was part of the Tory party that had wanted it. Largely Labour was party, the politicians that is, was Remain, in spite of the fact that the working class people, particularly up there in the north, in many of the northern towns that were predominant exit and Brexit voters, are traditional Labour voters. Labour, the party, betrayed entirely their working class mandate for the working class people, and went to tie Britain deeper into the EU superstate that exists, with all the plans for an army which would see British military expenditure drawn across and resources spread across far weaker and poorer nations, and many other attributes that are ongoing and would be seen as an endorsement for the further expansion of a political elite that no one in Britain ever voted for, like Juncker, staggering around drunk from €500, €1,000 plus lunches, 2.5-hour lunches, and falling asleep in Parliament, and pushing through laws that nobody wants, legislation that all has to be implemented, and protecting the corporate class, the Mercedes-Benzes of this world, the Siemens, and the big buyer, recent acquirer of Monsanto, the big food multi-corporates, and to the detriment of small and medium-sized businesses, enforcing very similar massive corporate red tape for compliance issues that only real corporates can afford to put entire departments on. Anyway, despite calling that and watching it happen, we then said the Brexit will be betrayed. So amazingly, there was this Hamlet scenario where every Brexiteer that was a Tory turned around and shot themselves in the foot, in the head, to leave only a female Remain Prime Minister to lead the great Trojan horse betrayal of the British mandate that was given. And as my working class heroes said, when they went in to vote, and they are supposedly, if you're up north, always expecting these soft southerners to put them forward as dumb, thick northerners who don't understand, or when they were in the counties, or whether they were in Wales, or wherever they were always seen as sub-intellects, unworthy of an opinion, and daring to question the superior left-leanings, clear, know better than you thinking, which infuriates and is more totalitarianism, is more communistic than anything conservative or right does. What level of contempt would be given to Brexiteers that were demanding a second referendum now if they had lost? What airplay and airtime would this be given? The amount of coverage that is given to this second chance, to these lefty liberals that believe that they had it all sewn up and theirs is the way and everyone else is stupid and doesn't get what they are all about. So this democracy hijack was what I was predicting, and Theresa May, the Remainer of the party that was supposedly a divided camp, now leads the negotiations. Now this, in the remaining 4 to 6 weeks, we really need to pull it in together, says Dutch PM, if we're to pull this off. This is my third prediction. This is my third prediction on the Brexit. We predicted Brexit. We predicted that it would be Trojan, from within, hijacked, befuddled. It's amazing how quickly a government that really wants to introduce a policy can get a policy out at a drop of a hat. But boy, when they've got something they don't really want to do, how they've managed to drag their feet for the better part of 2 years, going on 2.5 years, and achieve absolutely sod all is unbeknownst to me. I've seen new taxes and paperwork and forms and new legislation and legalese, things come out in a flick of a switch of the first idea being raised, but come up with the concept of leading either a deal or a resort to the World Trade Organization's standard trade agreement as default until a deal that can be agreed later, which could see fair trade and fair freedom of movement, and how they've made such a ball of wool, as if the Northern Ireland thing is such an unsurmountable big thing. There's all these obstacles. It's kind of like watching someone who's got to run the 100 meters hurdles, who really doesn't want to run the race, running up to the hurdle and staring at it and saying, "Well, I think it's a bit high. I need to go back. I need to rethink this." It's absolute. I have absolute contempt for they've not even put on a big act. Recently, May deemed to say up yours, yours spelt EURS, as if she's being defiant and working for Britain and saying no to Europe. All an act and a charade. This is what's going to happen. Here is your third prediction. Your third prediction in the shenanigans of the great betrayal of the British Brexit vote leave referendum. Your third prediction is exactly this. In these remaining 4 to 6 weeks that the Dutch PM was referring to bring it back together, to really have a solid chance of the Brexit talks reaching conclusion, there will be brinkmanship that will run this thing to the last minute. Then there will be long hours and shaggy faces and tough discussions and, ooh, I don't think it's going to happen, and 24-hour sit-ins with food ordered in and all of this, as if masterful effort after achieving sod all for 2.5 years, all being worked on for you, your politicians, working for you and to deliver the best deal. No, it's not going to be on to the last minute. It's never on. There'll be lots of remarks. It can't happen, won't happen, blah, 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 blah. And then, boom, just before for the last potential moment is available, out of the blue, there will become this heralded birth, this amazing resolution for which you will have no time to study the minutiae. It will be a brinkmanship brought literally at the last minute with a hurrah, victory, win-win for all sides, heralded for the EU, heralded for the United Kingdom. Done the deal. They pull in the rabbit out the hat at the 12th hour, and you will be shotgunned into this wedding. And then post the sign, in fact, Theresa May's probably signed it already to save herself having to go have another lunch with Juncker. You will find out the minutiae of the detail long before there is any opportunity to do anything about this great, unique deal. The EU will announce we've had to bend exceedingly far, and we've done the most unique and generous deal that we've ever done. That's how you know you've been stuffed, when you hear EU officials selling the gift that they are giving you. The gift that they're giving you to still spend your pounds in Euroland, to still buy BMWs and Mercedes-Benz, more than they ever buy UK product, to still pay for the bureaucratic, scandalous, lobbyist, non-elected officialdom in the most fastidious, corruptible, 3 weeks in Brussels, 1 week in Strasbourg, moving buses and boxes to work 1 week in France so that France feel important. Horseshit, non-business orientated, political, absolute charade and complete financial mess. You will be sold that you've been given the deal of a lifetime, like a car salesman that, while selling you a heap of bolts that are going to fall apart at the very first corner, is going like this and going, oh, you're pushing me hard. Okay, you done it. You got me real good. I feel terrible about this deal. You know, it's going to be an absolute charade. You will get a last minute deal that will be shunted through with very little opportunity. The details are already determined and they're acting out the part right now. Shotgun wedding into a deal. What won't happen is a no deal, which would be the best thing for Britain. A no deal resort to world trade. I can absolutely 100% guarantee they will continue to threaten it up to the last minute. Or if we don't meet each other halfway in the middle, it's going to be a no deal, no deal. It will never happen. They need your money. Europe Ponzi scheme is in worse state than the UK and needs to steal your money. There will definitely be a deal and it will be sold to you. It will be sold to you in the media. The Financial Times, the Rothschild Rag, the Daily Mail, the Express, every single one of those Ponzi scheme papers will all, even the Guardian on the other side, everyone is going to tell you that how in the 11th hour, what an amazing pulled a rabbit out of a hat. And you must know when you see those headlines that you heard it here from this mouth first and that it stinks and is pure poison and the full truth will seep out long past the seal being dotted on that deal and you being able to do nothing for it. And then there will be no return. There will be no second Brexit to fix a referendum, to fix. They won't get caught again. They will tie you up in claws and legalese. There will be hooks and crooks that will see them be able to continue to extract the EU system. This is not an attack on my European brothers and the European nations who I know and love and visit. And when I talk about Europe, the lovely Portuguese, the Spanish, the French, the Germans, it is an attack on the political EU system. The stitch up is there and the devil will be in the details. You will have no time to examine it as a citizen and you will be tied to it by your absolute prostitute of the moment, your Trojan horse PM and all the dark state forces behind her that knew from the day that referendum was lost that it had to be betrayed. It was the vote that was wrong and it had to be betrayed. And that's why there will be no need for a second referendum. The fix, it will be in, and mark my words, you will be sold in the UK media and Europe. Everyone saying how they felt they were pushed so hard and they've done the deal to end all deals. I'll even say, you will hear this as a quote, mark my words, you have been given the deal to end all deals. Watch that. If someone doesn't run with that headline, I'll be shocked. And that will be what you'll be told from the EU state. And know right then the betrayal is complete. The only thing that would be a good thing, and 100% won't happen, is a no deal, all fallout, nothing agreed, time lapses, go and resort WTO. There is a 0% chance of that happening. Absolutely naught. There is no one with the will in Britain to ensure the best deal, and the Europeans, if they felt they were going to have it, they would do anything to prevent it. Yes, so that's where we're at with Brexit. That's my take. The third prediction, first two proven correct, complete Trojanization by a Remainer PM, how they managed to get all the supposed, and they were fake, Brexiteers, because they had no commitment, no will, and no desire to lead a real Brexit negotiation, and none of it has been done. And the 2 years since this, since this referendum, has absolutely been frittered away with headline generation, hot-headed comments, rhetoric, and no real determined effort to finalize a negotiation. No clear stating where the position is, and very little done. And when Theresa May came in and said Brexit means Brexit, the signal was there in pure inverted Masonic doctrine. It means no Brexit. And that's how politics works, the exact converse of what they say. Anyway, that's my rant over. Watch it. Wait for those sales. Wait for the salesmanship that will come at the 12th hour. Watch how it'll be brinkmanship, and it'll be continued. Oh, it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. Oh, terrible. Cliffhanger. Simply not going to happen. Odds of Gus getting a deal. 1%. It looks like it's going this. No. Hype, bluster, and BS. You're going to be sold a pup, and it's already probably agreed. The rest is a pantomime happening right now. Okay, guys. By the way, webinar, October the 3rd. How you can benefit from this. By the way, they'll pump the pound as well on this deal. Yeah, it's got to be good. The market goes up. Currencies are controlled. The people that print the money can destroy currency, and they can make money. It's quite easy to do, I'm afraid. You will see it as this final seal of positivity. Currency surges, FTSE surges, everything surges for a while, and check where they are in a month after, once the real aspects of this political control structure has stuck its vampire suction pipe into the gullet of Great Britain. Yes, that's how it's going down. Come and chat with me how you can profit out of this, trading the great sellout of the UK. It's going to happen. There's nothing you can do about it. Make sure you make it pay in your pocket for the selling out of a great nation to a control structure, a transnational control structure of unelected, lobbyist-frenzied drunks. That's it. I'm out.